Hello, everybody, and welcome to another wonderful episode of your Potluck Podcast. And here is your butt-hurt disclaimer, parental and/or sponsor advisory. Our goal is to offer a recovery-based podcast with a twist of humor. The expressions and opinions voiced here are those of the individual speaker and are not of the collective. Our primary purpose is to carry the message and to help others to achieve sobriety. We don't feel the need to be original. We certainly don't want to be extra crispy. Yeah. So out here at the end of time, you got two choices: smoking or non-smoking.
Smoking.
No, that's not. I don't think you caught that.
I did catch it.
Is my mic on?
Is your mic on?
Is it on?
Well, you have to speak up to see the.
Well, I don't see anything.
Oh, well, hold on. Here.
I didn't push any buttons.
Oh, you hear you? See?
Okay.
Ooh, it's on now. Shall we start over?
No.
Okay.
Oh, all right. Is this
Well, I didn't push a button. I wasn't here. You can start over.
No.
I like it.
Good. Uncut.
No, so you don't actually have to press the button, because if you press the button, it
Don't press that
it
button.
actually mutes your
I was
mic.
making sure.
Yeah, no, just plug that thing
I
in.
just
You
plugged
know?
it in.
No button for you. So
You say.
no, you say.
So how's your week been?
Man, my week's been long.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why do you say such things?
Well, 'cause it was 5 days in the week. It's kind of long.
What?
Yeah. 5 work days in the week. I did check out a little early, a couple of them, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably should have went to work this morning, but
Listen, sometimes it's fine.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
How about you? How was your week this week?
It's been good. It's been a good week. I got my first week of my new schedule, which is working out.
Your working out schedule?
No. I haven't been to the gym in 2 weeks.
Oh, so
That's a
you mean
problem.
your employment schedule?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I like it. I'm probably gonna add another day though, so I can.
So you make your own schedule?
Yeah, basically.
Well, ain't you special?
A little bit.
I
Little
can say
bit.
that kind of.
We see. Make your own schedule as well.
I was gonna say, really? Like, I can't just leave early. I just get to pick, do I want the AM or the PM shift, okay? That's about as special as I get to be. I can't just leave because it's slow.
Right.
It'd be nice.
I mean,
but
yeah, you know, technically speaking, I feel like we all have a choice in that matter. We could all just leave if we want to and it gets slow. We just choose to stay.
Right.
I think it's missed though. The reason I have no work is because I work myself out of work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, it's not. I don't think it's a sense of entitlement. But look,
Let's hear it.
I got all the work done. So therefore, I should get to go home. I'm not asking you to pay me. Let me go. Let me go.
You know, it's funny, man. At work, not too long ago. So me and my homie, he became like a brother to me, bro. Like,
Hombre.
so from the time I started working there up until like December of last year, we worked side by side. You know what I'm saying? He'd always tell me, he said, bro, you don't want to do that. You know what I mean? Talking about working real hard. Like, cause I put my all in everything. And he's like, you don't want to do that, bro. They start seeing that they're going to take advantage of you. I'm like, nah, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to show these people I'm at work. You know what I mean? Now I know what he's talking about. Now I feel like they're taking advantage of me. Nah, it's funny, though, because now I'm running his machine. You know what I mean? And it's the same things that he was going through. I understood because I watched him go through them, but now I'm the one going through them, and I'm like, bro. But it's like to the point now, like when I get done with work, so it usually takes us, it could, if I decide to go at my rate of speed, okay, we'll get done at like 10:30, 11 o'clock. But there are days when I'm like, bro, I'm not leaving here till 1 a.m. But like the times that I get done early, it never fails. Like, hey, Woody, will you will you come over here and do this? And I'm like, oh, and I'm like, yeah, let's, I'll come over and help you. I don't like mind helping people, like even at work, man. And that's what he was talking about, though. That's what he's talking about, like, because I'll do the most.
Squirrel effect. I'm through it.
Do what's called, bro. Yeah, but I don't mind helping people, even at work, man. I be doing the most, the absolute most.
So beforehand, we was talking about. All right, so I had a few meetings back. I heard a friend of the program expressing frustration because everybody kept looking at my woman. You know what I mean, like, and I recall acting like that.
I like this topic.
Well, and now when I look back and reflect on me when I acted like that, it wasn't because I felt that way. It's because I felt obliged to portray that. Because if I didn't, then she felt like I didn't care.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Or he wasn't protecting her.
Right. If some dude was looking at her or whatever, you know what I mean? Like I had to fly off the handle and give that sense of insecurity or jealousy or, you know what I mean, territorial.
Yeah, I'll go so far as to add the instincts were being stepped on. That's how I felt, because I remember feeling like it as well.
Yeah.
This is how I look at the situation now, though. You supposed to want what I got.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Whether it be in a relationship, whether it be just whatever, you're supposed to want what I have, right? So, like, jealousy is... I feel like jealousy is probably number 2 or number 3 in the sense of most dangerous things on the planet. Complacency being the first. Peer pressure being right there with it. And then jealousy, right? And like I said, you're supposed to want what I got. You know what I mean? So like, what do I look like getting mad because you looking? It's different if you know what I mean, advancing. You know what I mean? That's different. You know what I mean? But you're just simply looking like, okay,
Right.
you know what I mean? And then, because like I said, I was in that same position at one point in time. You know what I mean? And it's like, we used to argue about it. You know what I mean? You don't fight for me. You don't stand up for me. They're looking at you. They're not touching you. They haven't advanced at you. Why I gotta? What am I protecting you from?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, make that make sense. What am I protecting you from? It sounds like to me like you have some sort of trauma, something you haven't really worked through yourself. Maybe you don't like when people look at you. Maybe, okay, I get that, but still, what I gotta protect you from? They're not touching you. They're not. You know. I'll try not to be a real jealous person. There's not very many things, because like I got everything that I need. You know what I'm saying? I try not to be jealous over or envious over what someone else has, whether it be in a relationship or whatever the case may be. Jealousy is not a good look.
No, I think
It's not a good look.
in my experience, I think it will eventually, you just lose respect for that person that is
Yeah.
constantly like in previous ex, right? When we first started, previous my girls' dad, right? We were 10 years ago. We dated 10 years ago, and I don't care. You can go through my phone. Like, I don't care. Here's the password. Do your thing. Like, it doesn't bother me. I have nothing to hide. I don't delete nothing. If you don't like it, I guess we'll have a conversation, right? That's just how I've always been. Well, he was in a previous relationship that she was, talking to everybody in the world, whatever it was. Went through, and I mean, anybody that was a male friend from like high school that I've never been with, never dated, they were always like in the friend zone forever. Never, you know what I'm saying? Went through and sent a bunch of pictures of us either kissing each other or being together. I was like, don't you be talking to my girl. And they hadn't been talked to in 2 years. I mean, went through it and just, I'm like, what in the world are you doing? Like, I mean, right there, you're not going to go through my stuff and go message people. Like, if you have that big, why would you even do that? Well, because I don't want to talk to nobody. Like, these are my friends. Like, that, to me, you're going to lose respect really quick. Because I don't go through your stuff, you know what I mean? If we have, the way I look at it is if I was already friends with this person and I've never pursued, then obviously I don't want to be with that person. But we have friends, you know what I mean? I'm not, once I pick you, you pick me, then I have no issue. What you were talking about, okay, so my boys is dead. I had a really hard time feeling like I was of any... What are you with me for? You know what I mean? I didn't have very high confidence level. I was also 19 years old. As the third person I ever dated in my life. I didn't date. So it was totally, and he was my boss and all the things. So, I was told, like, it's okay, apparently this was... I know it's a form of manipulation now. I didn't know it then, right? So he's like, it's okay, because he'd go up and, like, get free food, go flirt with girls at the theme park, you know what I mean? And get all this food for, like, $2. And I would just sit on the side with his kids and be like, I'm just going to go over here, you go do your thing and work your magic and...
We'll eat.
For real. And I was like, okay. Like, to me, it was, they envy, but who's going home with me every night? So, of course, if people are looking at me, that means that, you should be proud that I'm walking, you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, I can work with that. Later to find out there was reasoning behind that, right? Like, when it flipped vice versa, it was not the same. But I found out later on there was reasons for that. So, but that always made sense to me, right? To the point that his... other baby mama lived in the other bedroom of our 2-bedroom apartment because she was homeless. So I was like, yo, have her come live with us. He's like, are you kidding me? I was like, you don't want to be with her, you're with me. So she lived with her 2 kids in one room, and me and him lived in the other room with his other baby. You know what I mean? Everything was cool because there was that trust there. You know what I mean? If you trust the person you're with, then there's not, and I just automatically have that. I don't want to not trust somebody due to past hurts. Everybody's different. So I have a major issue with feeling like if I break somebody's trust because something I just didn't know it did, like I freak out because I'm like, I don't want that. Because once you start to lose that trust or once you start to lose that respect for somebody, over time it just cuts at.
See, like I heard something one day. They said if you could take her from me, she wouldn't mind to begin with. I stand by that. Like, if I'm in a relationship with someone and I love this person and they love me, you can try if you want to. If it works, it works. More power to you. I don't think it will. You know what I mean? Like, the confidence, the trust, though. Like, I had that trust with my ex-wife. The same thing. You know what I mean? She was a dancer, so, I'd drop off at the club, but I would watch all these different guys, like, try to take her home. And it's that same confidence, like, you coming home with me. I don't have to ask you to come home, like, I'm outside. Whenever you're ready, come get in the car. You know what I mean? And, like, it was like that for 10 years. You know what I mean? Until it wasn't. But it was because of that, the loss of respect. You know what I mean? That trust that we had between each other was...
Once it starts to break, it breaks, But that whole trying to... When he would start to, right? He would start to get jealous over an old friend that came to visit I haven't seen since I was 16 years old. You know what I mean? Came to town with his chick. You know what I'm saying? Came to my work. And the boys' dad came flying into my job. Oh, he's piping hot. I was like, what is the problem, man? Like, he's here with his chick. Like, I'm just saying, hi. This is like old friend, like nothing. What is the problem? I mean, caused a scene at my work. Like, I was like, what in the heck is going on? And that's when the kind of controlling business had started. But I didn't know where it came from. Especially because we had just had this discussion, like, you have people you talk to, like, why do I care? Well, it's because there was other things going on, but I didn't know nothing of it because I was naive about it. But it didn't make me feel good. You know what I mean? Like, to me, but when he's like, you're not jealous of anybody that I talk to, it's like, why would I be jealous of anybody you're talking to? Like, I don't have a reason to be jealous because, like, you picked me.
Right.
You know? Like, I don't, to me, that doesn't show that you're protective. Like, if you're in danger, that's
different.
Protection.
Yeah.
But being a big baby man, my girl, what you talking about? Like, they're looking, they ain't getting nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
plus, I think it's rude to stare. Just like I think it's rude to be whistled at. I don't like that. Like, I was with my ex-wife, we were leaving a pawn shop, and there's a guy.
Well, if you're whistling and somebody's walking with their chick and you're whistling at them when they're with their person, like that, that's probably not good.
So, like, that's exactly what happened. I was walking out of the pawn shop, and he's, like, barbecuing off to the side, and he whistles at her. And I'm like, hey, man, she got a name, bro. I would rather you come up and ask her for a name while I'm standing right here than to stand over and whistle at her. I said, what's up, dude? You know what I mean? And this was before all the work that I put in to really change who I am. So, like, I was ready to go. That is crazy, bro, because, like, that right there to me is like protecting. Like, you're not gonna treat her like she's an animal. Like, that to me, that's what you do to a dog when they're at a distance and you can't get to them. You whistle at them and they'll come. You know what I mean? Like, the cat calling shit, I don't like that. You know what I mean? Especially if I'm with this person. You see me standing here. I would much rather just respect. You know what I'm saying? I would much rather you respect her enough, regardless of how you respecting or disrespecting me at that point. I would much rather you have respect for her enough to come up and say, hey, what is your name? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that to me is still a form of, like, protection. You know what I mean? Because, you know, that's just wrong. You're not gonna treat her like it. I don't treat her like that. At that point, I didn't. So you're not gonna do that either. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't. The jealousy thing. I try not to do that. I don't. You know, unless we're talking about, like, links of sobriety, and it's not even the fact that I'm, like, jealous of other people that have various links of sobriety, but, like, I'll say I want that. You know what I mean? Like, I want that. That's what I'm talking about. Like, I don't get jealous over it, though. Like, I too will get there. You know what I mean? As long as I keep doing what I'm supposed to do.
Right.
But that jealousy thing, like, I think that is in the top probably 3 of most dangerous things on the planet.
Yeah.
You know
or when
I mean?
drugs are involved and it makes you
That
think
too.
something is.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I've seen it destroy a brain completely.
Oh, yeah.
What are you talking about? I don't know. What's your take? You
So
brought it up. You haven't
when I
talked.
first started with all that, initially I didn't really feel that way. Like I said, I just had to. I felt obligated to portray that,
Yeah.
to give the sense I cared. For one, I didn't believe with a fiber in my being that she was entertaining any of that. So as time would go on, and eventually I would kind of believe that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
Again, I was probably in a drug-induced psychosis. I was in a drug-induced psychosis, okay? That didn't help matters.
Oh, yeah, of course not.
Every second of every day almost consumed me. You know what I mean? Like I was trying to find out who, when, where, why, how. You know what I'm saying? And we would have some of the worst fights. I mean, they're reminiscent of the ones that I witnessed when I was in childhood. You know what I mean? I put my hands all on her, you know what I'm saying? And I really did some things I ain't proud of.
Yeah.
I hurt her, you know what I mean? for that time, I could see and I totally understood crimes of passion,
Yeah.
murder, suicides.
Yeah.
It definitely was understandable.
Yep.
Before that, I was like, why in the hell would anybody kill their old lady and their kids and then themselves?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I see.
Yeah.
Because if I can't have you, ain't nobody.
I swear.
And all I could ever think, instead of just leaving the house and letting this shit be, okay, all I could ever think of was all the time spent, all of the pain, and even the joy that was experienced. And the idea of starting with somebody else all over again, like, man, that's so discouraging.
Yeah.
It's so scary.
You know, worked all
You know what I
this,
mean? And I'm just supposed to walk away from everything. You know what I mean? Man, I was not willing to let that happen. That was not even an option. Not even an option. I don't know if it's still out there, if I erased it or not. There's a post that I made when I first implemented myself back in the household,
Yeah.
because I become aware of some things. And I just, it's just like that. I just showed right back up and put myself right back in the house.
Yeah.
And staked my claim again.
Yeah.
And then I got on your social media platform and invited everyone up to the house that had all that shit to say about me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, well, come up, man. We have a cookout.
Yeah.
And then I told him how I would do some very unspiritual things to him.
Yeah.
You can come, but you ain't leaving.
Yeah. Facts. Stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't have no takers. Nobody showed up. But man, it's just still, that was a real rough spot, bro.
Yeah.
Like around that time, it was around 11 years. I had no criminal case on me, and I found that shit out within less than a year and a half. I had a whole new resume. I was been locked up about 5 times within less than 6 months. Police they come to the house about killed me.
Yeah.
I was really way out there. Certainly, I more than likely, I should have been institutionalized. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I lost my mind. I literally lost my mind.
Yeah.
There was no rational thinking inside my head.
Yeah. Like, I like what you said, like if I can't have you, no one can have you. Like, but I thought my ex-wife that was it, man. Shit, it was only 10 years, but shit, 10 years is a long time.
Yes, it is.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we got 4 kids together.
Yeah.
And I love this woman with everything I had, but it was like a lot of the situation was like, it was drugs, bro. Like, that's what it was. Like, when we met, at the time I just like smoked weed and like everything was cool, but then like I started doing cocaine again. You know what I mean? And I remember we was at my mom's house. We had just moved in over there, and I was playing Call of Duty with the dude's like my brother. He is my brother for real. I've known him since I was like 2 or 3. Anyway, we sitting there playing Call of Duty on the Xbox. It's the Xbox. Anyway, and she come back for work. I don't even remember what she said. I done grabbed her up and we in the closet now. Like, shit wasn't me. You know what I mean? I don't even know where it came from. And then it was like our relationship, because we done crossed that I didn't just cross it. I jumped over it. That line, you know what I mean? That fine line that you just don't do. You know what I mean? It wouldn't be but like a year later, I got arrested for domestic violence. First time I got out of jail, I signed a plea deal, no contact. A week later, I got picked up on a probation violation for violating the contract. I get back out. 2 days after that, I caught another domestic violence charge. This time it's a no unlawful contact. For those of you who don't know, it means you can't even argue. You just can't do it. Then, well, I don't even think it was a whole month later, I caught another domestic violence charge on top of the no contact, on top of the no unlawful contact. The judge looked at me, he's like, man, listen, you got one more time, bro, it's a felony. You know, you come back in my courtroom and you're gonna do all this time, all of it. Well, that was like the darkest part of my life. Like, I love this woman, you know what I mean? And that was probably like the darkest period of time like I had my entire life. Besides, I was going through as a child, I was depressed, but like, that was right around the time like my grandfather died, and it was also right around the time like I said, I was trying to kill myself, you know? And not saying, I'm not excusing the fact that we put our hands on each other. I'm not excusing the fact that I put my hands on her. Like, I take full accountability for my actions, you know? But that was probably the darkest period of my life, for real. Like, I just didn't want to be here, you know what I mean? And then, like I said, my grandfather died, and it strained our relationship even further. So much to the point where actually a couple years ago, I was going through, you know how like you go to a funeral, you got the little book that everyone signs whenever they get there at the viewing. A couple years ago, I was looking through it and I realized that my wife didn't even sign the book. She was with me the whole time. You know what I mean? Not saying that you have to do it, like that's up to you to do, you know what I'm saying? But that hurt me, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, bro, the one thing I wanted you to do is just be there for me when my dad died, and he's like, you can't even do that. You know what I mean? Like, you couldn't even do it on a book. You couldn't even put your name in the book, and you lived with us. You know what I mean? It just hurt me, bro. And like, today, I look at relationships like that, like, especially the one with my ex-wife and the ones I had prior to that, and like all the shit that I caused all these other people. In high school, I was a piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? That's all his lessons, bro. And then a lot of the lessons that I learned out of all that is what I will and won't tolerate. You know what I mean? And like, the principles, I can see where the principles should have been and where they are now. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's like the biggest lesson for me, is like what I will and won't tolerate. I'm not gonna tolerate you lying to me. We're not gonna do this whole line. I'm not going back and forth. If I get to the point where, you know, I mean, I won't put my hands on you, we're not gonna be together. I'm just not gonna do it. I'm not gonna subject myself to trauma again. You know what I mean? Like, not that kind of trauma, you know? I'm just not gonna do that, bro. Like, it took me to a place I don't even wish that upon my worst enemy, to be in a place that I was at that point. You know what I mean? And like, I really did love this woman. And like you said, like, you understood at that point where the crime of passion came from. Shit, I was gonna burn the house down with you and me in it. You know what I mean? I'd be damned if someone else gets you. Today, I stand firm on, like, it wasn't mine to begin with. You know what I mean? Maybe for the time being, but it was mine to begin with. It's just a lesson. You know what I mean? I feel like it was a blessing at the time, And that blessing is also a lesson that I learned, you know what I mean, over a period of time. It took me a minute to understand that, but hell, I got it. I got it. Shut up.
Nothing.
Oh, a whole lot.
That's funny. I didn't hear that much.
Okay.
No, because I'm trying to think of what to even say. Nope.
So
Somebody's talking.
I had to ask myself, and I still ask myself that. Let me back up. Kind of like Bree said, man, that was really only about the third woman I really dated.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And to really take it back, me and her dated in the 8th grade, bro.
Yeah.
We was in a band together. There's actually pictures in the newspaper where we was in a parade, marching through Shepherdsville, you know what I'm saying, in the band together. We split up shortly after that because I just didn't move fast enough, okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, I was not old enough for her. I didn't have a car, you know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
just didn't move fast enough.
Yeah.
Right. So some years would pass. In between, the second girl that I really dated before her, I'd say I was 16, 17, you know, thought I was in love or something, you know what I mean? And again, didn't know it until I was wrong. You know what I'm saying? That shit didn't end on my accord. You know, so then I would go almost 24 years thinking of that girl every day.
Mm-hmm.
Every day. While I'm in a relationship with this one,
Mm-hmm.
every day I'm thinking about her.
Mm-hmm.
You know, tell you what stopped them thoughts about her? The suffering and the pain of the next one. And the trauma. Because when that moment happened, when I realized that she wasn't entertaining other dudes, you know what I mean? I didn't think about her anymore. I was totally consumed by this one because that shit didn't go on by my account. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Somebody asked me one time, because he kind of going through it with his longtime wife.
Yeah.
You know, they splitting up. And he's like, you know what? How do you get over something like that? And the only real way I believe that you get over real trauma like that is to have new trauma.
Mm-hmm.
And then that trauma's gone. Now you fixated on the next new trauma. That's the only way I have found. You know what I mean? Here recently, I have had an experience where I've been able to lay them traumas down, and it's given me quite a bit of relief. You know what I'm saying? It really has. Still think about it, but I realize now the price. Like my dude in the room says, am I willing to pay that price today? I'm not even willing to pay the price for that. When I catch myself thinking about that shit,
Yeah.
it's an immediate. Like, I don't even like the subject I'm on right now. I
Yeah.
really don't. Only in hopes to help somebody else. I gotta drop that shit like heavy luggage
Yeah.
and walk away from it. If I find myself thinking about it, I just need to find something else to think about.
Yeah.
And it seems, I know because I've been there just really recently where I can't put it down. I just keep thinking about it. But I've also experienced the trauma and the struggle when I continue to do that. It's a lot better to think about the things that are beneficial in my life, you know, and give me joy than it is to think about that stuff that does the complete opposite.
Yeah. The power of choice in the sense of like what will serve me or not. Right, like when I say serve
I
me.
better serve thee.
Well,
I can't serve thee.
Right.
When I'm all over there.
Well, when I say serve me, like, so we all vibrate, we're all energy, right? So like, low frequency, yes, absolutely. So you are vibrating. Anyway, so low frequency is like when you like drug addicted, you know, drinking alcohol all the time, low, almost like that, yeah. That's like a real low frequency, right? Like whenever you, like on the authenticity, like you trying to be your most authentic self, like you're a higher vibration, you vibrate higher frequencies, right? But like when I say things that serve me, I'm talking about things that'll raise my frequency, right? Like these conversations, you know what I mean? Say you're going through something, you know what I mean, and I'm uplifting you. Right, and then say I'm going through something and you put me down instead. You know what I mean? I don't want that. That doesn't serve me no purpose. You know what I'm saying? I want people around me that's gonna help build not only myself up, but I'm gonna build you up the same way, because that's how we raise each other's frequencies. You know what I'm saying?
Friends with benefits.
No. Sheesh. But
work out.
And even furthermore, like just like for instance, like church, that serves a good purpose. It serves me. It serves what I'm doing. Meetings, I could be of service to other people, and it's just service to me going there. It serves my purpose. You know what I mean? If things don't serve my purpose, people don't serve my purpose. You know what I mean? I'm gonna use the words "meet my requirements," okay? Because it's I don't have standards.
Fit the criteria.
That one, you know what I mean? Like if people or the places or the things don't fit that criteria, I have the power of choice today. I don't have to kick it with you. I don't have to be there at whatever location. I don't have to do the things that don't serve me. I don't have to give energy where it's not really needed or wanted. You know what I mean? I choose where I put my energy into. You know what I mean? And I call those things energy vampires. Those people are energy vampires. Like, have you ever called someone and started, like they called you, you answer the phone, and like when you talk on the phone, you just like
everything's negative. Yeah.
It's taking energy. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have to subject myself to that. You know what I mean? I like to talk to people like where I feel uplifted when I talk to them on the phone, or like I don't even like talking on the phone for real, but when I do, you know, if that's how the conversation goes, even in person, if that's how the conversation goes, like I just feel drained after the conversation, or like they leave the room and I'm just like, damn, like I don't have to be around that person. I don't have to be in that location or do those things. Like it's the power of choice. You know what I mean? It's yeah, thanks.
So I guess I have something now. I had to process all of the things.
Everything that's going on.
There's a whole lot.
Yeah.
So what I'm finding, and what I've kind of this week, it came to me that we were kind of talking about out on the patio earlier about things that have come up, and a lot of times when things are bad, right, things are going wrong, instead of asking God, why me, or why is this happening, we ask what. Well, as the week has gone on, it hasn't been a bad week. I'm finding that I don't know what it is. I really don't know what made the idea come to my head, unless God's just like, hey, I'm going to tell you what I'm teaching you without having to really wonder. And it's this conversation, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, first boyfriend, yeah, I ended it because he couldn't pick. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I ain't doing that.
Yeah.
Like, no.
No, you're worth it.
You know what I mean? And then went back to him, right? And then he ended up, I've always been left. for somebody else. Not
Right.
enough, right? First rule of thumb, you're not
Yeah.
enough.
Inadequacy.
Because you're not doing something enough. And I didn't date till I was 17 years old. I was almost 18.
Yeah.
First time I dated. The first person I ever dated. Had rules. So what do? I go date the baddest, whatever, you know. Been in the, if you're there an extra year, you look mean and scary, I'm gonna, that's who I'm picking out. And then senior year. We graduated high school, everything's great. You're just high school, what were you to me? I'm going to college. Nice. Yeah, no, Bree doesn't take that well. Like, what do you mean? I didn't even do anything wrong. What do you mean I didn't do anything wrong? What did I do? So now I don't care. See, now I'm like, oh, all right. Do whatever I want. I'm not gonna even try to like somebody. Or actually be in a relationship because this is not working out for me. All my rules, all my things growing up of what to do is not working out. And then I met the boys' dad, and he was my boss. Chuck E. Cheese. You don't date your boss, so I quit when I finally, when we finally decided to date. And all of the things, he's like 6 years older than me at the time, and already had 2 babies. And the questions of, you know what I mean? Like I've told y'all before, he had his own issues. So, would you be willing to do this? Would you be willing to add somebody to the mix? Would you be, you know what I mean? And in my mind, I'm like, well, what would your answer be? Okay, well then there's your answer. You know what I mean? But over time, after he died, after he was gone because of that situation, pretty soon I had to make it, I have to be okay with anything anybody wants or they're gonna leave. Whether that be leave this world or leave me, I have to be whoever people want me to be. That's just that. It messed up my brain. And after he died, I went on a spot. I didn't care. I'll be the side. I don't care. Not with nobody. I'll be whoever. I just don't want to feel like this. It's before the drugs. Then the drugs came after the alcohol. And my first addiction was probably the boys' dad. That feeling of wanting to be wanted and wanting to be loved and wanting a family. And so I've been kind of going through it because you know what I mean? I'm noticing these patterns and things in my brain are coming back like memories, right? Like, really, before he died, the reason that happened was because he was using steroids and snapped. Pretty sure the thinning in my hair is because I've had it ripped out of my head so many times that it's just not growing back. Then it gets scary. Then you're like, I don't want to piss somebody off. I can sense it. If I'm irritating you, I'm going to just shut down. I'm going to find something else because I don't want to see what's going to happen next. And if I do, and I know that I'm going to push the button, I know it's about to get real. So it must be worth what I'm about to say. It usually was when it got to that point. So the first one, we got into 3 fights in 3 years ever that got physical. The next one was 1. And then the ex-husband was 8 years of some scary business. Yes, drugs were involved. As soon as you walked in the door and said something and now you're in the closet, right? Mm-hmm. It just sent me back. And I've gone through it. I've done the trauma stuff, but for what happened way before that. Mm-hmm. The real trauma has happened in the last 10 years, right? Mm-hmm. That I just shut off. Doing drugs, whatever. Like, it happened yesterday. Oh well, today, new thing, same thing, whatever. I'm just going to put the past in the past, That's just what I would do. And so this new way of life, the other day I was just sitting and maybe I'm nuts. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't God, but I really fully believe that God's like, I'm going to show you how to be loved, right? Like the right way, like not having to be somebody for be something else, not having to be a slave to somebody else's desires, not having to feel like I have to do whatever they're going to leave. Like people are in my life that want to be there, that are happy with just me being just me. Is a new uncomfortable feeling because I'm used to having to be like, I don't want you to leave, son. You sure? Like I know what I'm supposed to do. I've been trained in this, you know what I mean, brainwashed, however you want to say it, fear of losing somebody, and I really, it was the craziest thing because I sat there and nothing was wrong. I was just like, wow, is this really happening right now? Did I really, what's the motive? And the only answer I got was, I brought people into your life that are going to show you what it's really supposed to be, not what you've learned. And I'm going to show you, you know what I mean? Like learning how to love and learning how to be loved in a whole new way that
It's uncomfortable.
But it's what I wanted, right?
Yeah.
Like growing up, I knew a set of rules. This is what God's rules are. You don't do this, X, Y, Z. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I actually kind of got that, but I don't know what to do with it because that's not real.
Right.
Like what? And so it's been a whole thing, and it's really cool. It's just a whole.
Yeah.
It just was cool. Like God giving me that, without it being a bad thing. It's
Yeah.
like look what you're learning from the good things happening. Life doesn't always have to be chaotic to learn a lesson.
Yeah.
So it just, I feel like you're touching on, look, not everybody, I can't call anybody addict, I can't call anybody alcohol. That's only for me to say about myself.
Right.
But I will tell you that everyone is addicted to one thing. Everybody. Nobody is exempt. Do we know what that one thing is?
Acceptance.
Acceptance.
Everybody wants to feel accepted by their family or the outside world, want to feel a sense of love, you know what I mean? So we do tend to tailor ourselves to these ideas, and they don't even have to be the right idea.
Yeah.
It's only through the wrong experiences that we begin to be molded, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's only when we can experience real love, not because I do something, not because I don't do something. It's not a box check, a competition. It's not, it's unconditionally, and that's why it's important for me to understand God's love.
Yeah.
When I get the idea of what that is, I can begin to love myself.
Yeah. And then
If I don't love myself, I love anyone else, let alone let anyone else love me. I don't even know what love is.
right.
But it's just like sorry, I'm sorry. It's so overused, has no value.
Right.
So when we grow up, the I love you is tossed around so freely, it has no value.
Yeah.
And not only that, I get told I love you by a father figure that just beats the dog shit out of me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, all I think
That's how it's supposed to be.
is father love. Regardless of what he just did to me as he walked out the room, my first thought afterwards was, where's my dad? This is how it's supposed to be. He loves me.
Yeah.
So you're talking from an early age.
Yeah.
So then, how is that supposed to even change if I ain't got nobody to represent that love? You know what I mean? Then it's accepted at such an early age. Then when I grow up, that's what happened at an early age.
Yeah.
I'm willing to let a whole bunch of worse shit go on. You know what I mean? As I grow,
Yep.
because that's what makes us grown-ups.
And then, like, I'll go even further to just to add on to like what you just said. Like, I start projecting that right there onto all relationships, whether it be with, you know what I mean, an intimate relationship with another person, or just like a friendship. You know what I mean? I can recall plenty of times, like, 'cause I like you said, dog shit. Bruh, we're not gonna get into it, but anyway, I can recall like getting my ass whooped at home, and then get on the bus. And this is my partner. Like I've been kicking with bruh for a long time. We end up fighting on the bus, you know, on the way to school.
Yeah.
Then of course, because I don't fought on the bus, now I'm getting my ass whooped again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but that's the projection of, especially as kids, bro. They're real impressionable. Like they learn from what they see. Shit, when you get your ass whooped the way I was getting my ass whooped, like, shit, I thought that was normal.
So to anybody else there, it may be another special occasion. Okay, I don't know, everybody experiences, but you know, when I would first meet somebody or first meet a group of people or whatever, there was an element of timidness or whatever. I'm feeling it out.
Yeah.
I'm feeling it out. And
Yeah.
they're feeling me out. You know, but as the days go on and you grow some familiarity, you get an idea of what's going to slide,
Yeah.
what's not, what I'm going to allow, and what I'm not going to allow.
Right.
You know what I mean? Manipulation. Yeah, early childhood. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know you, so I'm not going to try nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So a few days, weeks go on. You get a little bit, we get talking, whatever, you know, and I don't know. I would. I think I spoke on this a few times. I tended to try to accept the kids that had no friends. You know what I'm saying? That's who I tended to make friends with. The other ones, bro, I would be borderline. I would just be medieval with them. Like, just real. Hateful, mean, just mean, bro. Because not that I was accepted with all the kids, but I was that kid that didn't have no friends. And y'all, part of my friends, but y'all little fuckers used to whoop up on me. You know what I'm saying? One day in the 4th grade, I don't know where it come from, but I woke up one day and I had enough.
Yeah.
And then the next one that tries me, punch him in the head, punch him in the head, punch him in the head, punch him in the head. It's just all I repeat in my head all day.
Yeah.
And little buddy, I still remember his name, Stuart Ware. That's when I noticed that some people got harder heads than others. Because he go pick on me, bro, and we'd form a line, go out to class, and I don't know, he done something to me, and I just turned around and I said, bah! Hit him right in the head. Like, it's like a light come on. You know what I mean? He was awake. we didn't fight no more, but it's like he knew if I keep messing with him, he gonna punch me again.
Yeah.
But dude, from that day on, all of 4th grade, it was fights every day almost.
Yeah.
Like they didn't even suspend it.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how I got in so many fights in one school year. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It just it was something woke up, bro.
Yeah.
But I ended up just trying to fight every day.
Yeah.
But it was always the kids that was picking on the kids.
Picking on the kids, yeah.
Yeah.
The bullies. But look, it's funny you talk about bullies. My elementary school / middle school bully just so happened to be like my brother right now. I stood up to him one time, brother. You gonna quit whooping me, bro. You gonna have to do something now.
When you fight with the close, you with the close.
I talked to him just the other day, and he was like, "Bro, I'm proud of you, man. You know what I'm saying? From where you are now, it's crazy how that happens, bro. Cause he wasn't really my middle school bully. He was more like my elementary school bully for real. Like, I knew him from the time I was like 3, and then, you know what I mean? Like that's when I got into like 4th grade is when he started, you know what I mean, picking on me and shit. Find out that, bro, listen, you got to whoop me. You got to keep picking on me, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I remember specifically one time we talked about the lunch money thing. You know what I mean? You know how kids are. But you bring that lunch money. I said, we get that lunch money off that roof, bro.
I got it.
Yeah.
Mama, let me get free lunch.
Yeah. So like,
Don't upset me with a check. I don't know what y'all are talking about lunch money. I got a check. I had to go give it.
But see, that's the thing though. Like at that time, like I done been on the free lunch. I done had the discounted lunches where you had to take like it's like $1.75, $1.50 to school every day. And I've also did it to where they had an account, so my grandfather would bring me a check, $50. It would last like a month.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like at this time, we were on reduced lunches, so it's like, bro, you bring me that money tomorrow. Shit, or what, bro? Or what? You're not gonna keep bullying me. But I stood up for myself the next day, bro. He became like my best friend. You know what I mean? He's more like a brother to me now, for real. But we talking about like the uncomfortable feeling, right? Like it's crazy that I heard this. Kevin Gates has said this, and like I was listening to it, and I had to rewind it a couple different times to like really take in what he was saying. But he said like we pour into other people so much that it feels uncomfortable when we start to pour into ourselves. Like I thought about that, and I still think about that. I think about that all the time. Like I poured everything I had to all these different relationships, all these different people, you know what I mean? And it by no means at any point in time during this would I ever really fill my cup up. You know what I'm saying? Like I pour into everyone else, literally to the point where when I did start praying, when my cup did start filling up for the things that I was doing, even like when I first started my recovery journey this time, like the things I was doing to like raise my frequency that would serve my purpose, that made me feel good, I felt wrong. Like I'm not supposed to do this. You know what I mean? Like it just don't feel right. And like I think about it now, I don't feel like that as much now. You know what I mean? Like I can't help nobody else if I'm pouring from an empty cup, bro. You can't pour from an empty cup. You're not going nowhere. It's not gonna do nothing for you. Plus, it's just gonna continue to drain you. You know what I mean? So like I try to do as much as I can, really. You know what I mean? And I think that's, for me, I think that's a lot of the reasons, like, I try and help other people too, like, because I've worried about myself for so long, in the senses of, like, either I was in a relationship because you had what I wanted, or you was a friend to me because you had what I wanted, or we was going to go get whatever it is that we wanted. You know what I mean? Like, and like today, it's not like that. You know what I mean? It's not like that. But that feeling of like you feel wrong, it feels uncomfortable when you start doing the right thing, when you start filling up your cup, like whether it be with God or whether it be with just something that just serves your purpose today. Like that shit used to feel weird, uncomfortable. Now I love it. You know what I mean? I love being in that feeling. I love that feeling. Like this podcast, for instance, like it's rejuvenating. You know what I mean? And then like later on tonight, you get to go to a meeting. Whether or not I help someone at that meeting it's not for me to determine. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like I do. You know what I mean? But it's like I'm able to do that because I get to do something that serves my purpose. And then even furthermore, I get to serve his purpose. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That feeling of just being uncomfortable, like, it's okay to pour into yourself. It's okay to do things to raise your frequency or to fill your cup, if you will. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like it's pertinent for growth to be uncomfortable. You know,
Yeah.
There's no growth if I'm comfortable all the time.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you mentioned, the pouring, at yourself into others. I like to think of it not as a cup, but as a battery.
Yeah.
Or
Yep.
battery.
Battery.
Otherwise known. And you was talking about, the ones, the energy vampires, right? So I like find people around me that charge my batteries. Places that charge my batteries. You know, because initially it was the rooms.
Yeah.
I mean, the rooms still do, but now it's kind of twisted to where, and it's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
It's just byproducts of carrying the message, trying to find the message.
Yeah.
Initially, I was trying to find the message so it would charge my batteries.
Right.
You know, and now when you try and convey that message and help others, there's a depleting of the energy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's where they're pouring into other people. Yeah.
Right. So then that's why all the others that I try to surround myself with, you know, it's a reciprocatory. That's the right word. You know what I'm saying? It like my supportive group of friends of the program, or you know, my spiritual family in the churches or whatever. They help build my batteries back up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I can come to the rooms and pour into,
Right.
Plug in, if you will.
Yeah.
So yeah. Still marinating?
No, you're good. I had it and it's gone now.
So if it's gone now, did you ever have it?
Well, yeah, but then I was trying to listen. I don't want to just think about what I'm going to say. I want to listen to what you have to say. So it wasn't important.
Or it
So
might have been a lot.
can I pause or say this in a minute? Blah, blah, blah.
Pause.
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 I had to wait too much.
Pause for station identification.
Right, y'all do your thing. I'll be right back.
All right.
Can I call it this one?
You got, I don't know.
Yeah. Sounds like it. Yeah. I was gonna say something too.
Oh man, y'all just full of
Going-
unimportance and
what-
falsehoods.
Well, it was going off of what we were just talking about, like the recharging of like the batteries. How do you want to say it? So like I didn't, like as a kid, like I would go to like church, you know what I mean? But like honestly, like as a kid, like the only reason why I went to church, I can recall. Okay, first let me. So as a kid, I would go. My cousin they were going to church. You know what I mean? Like my aunt had them. It was like every Wednesday night, every Sunday night. Like
Sunday morning.
it was just all the time. You know what I mean? They was just always at church, and like I'm like, what do you do there? You know what I mean? So, but I can recall one time I had gone with them, and, you know, like come up to the altar, whatever, and you can pray after the service. So I don't know. I remember kneeling, you know, like at the altar, you know what I mean, praying, and then like I don't remember what happened after that. I just remember getting woke up.
They done Benny Hanna jazz, didn't they?
Yeah, yeah. I just remember just being like woke up, like, you're okay, son. You know what I mean? I'm like, I was okay before. What happened now? You know what I mean? But like the feeling I got, like when I woke up, like that rejuvenation, like that feeling right there, right? So even like when I got into recovery this time right here, like I was still kind of not reluctant to go to church, because I still had that resentment towards God for, you know, the things that I thought was done to me.
Welcome back.
Yeah. Unpause. But
This message has been brought to you by.
yeah.
The root fruits.
Being like first in recovery, like having that resentment towards God, like I didn't really get that rejuvenation, if you will. So recently, been going to church with you. You know that. I remember the first time I went to church with you. The preacher said something I didn't agree with. I still don't agree with it, but it's not the messenger. It's the message, right? So like after a couple weeks go by, I'm like, bro, I feel like I'm missing something. You know what I mean? Like I'm just missing something. Like I have a contact with my higher power that can't no one change. I don't have to go, and I've always felt like this. Like I don't have to go to any building to serve my higher power. I just don't have to do that. I talk to him every day about everything. You know what I mean? So, but I just felt like I was missing something. Like there was something that I just felt different, like since that first time, right? So then, like I said, we recently started going back, and like now it's like I feel off if I don't make. So far, I haven't missed one, you know what I'm saying, and I don't plan to, but it's just like when I stopped going, after going, I just felt, like I said, just felt off. Just feel that I don't get that. Now when I go, I get that rejuvenation. I get that recharge of the battery. You know what I'm saying? And I'm able to go through the strength. I always pray for the strength to carry out the day, and allow me to do His will and not my own. I say that prayer every day on my way to work, when I'm at work, when I'm on my break at work. You know what I mean? I have to though, because if I don't, like I just feel off. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy. I don't even say it's crazy. That right there, I feel is definitely like that's where the growth comes in. That's where the change comes in. You know what I mean? Because like I don't feel that we have to specifically go to any one brick and mortar building to do this. You know what I'm saying? Like we can sit here and have a conversation about God right now. And to me, it's church. You know what I'm saying? That's literally what the church is. It's like a meeting, like any two or more people gathered talking about Alcoholics Anonymous or Narcotics Anonymous is a meeting. Right. You know what I mean? The same concept.
Two or more that believe gather.
Yeah.
He is there.
He is right.
So yes, no, I believe. Let me back up. I was there too.
Yeah.
I don't need to go to church. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I do need to go to church.
Well, yeah. I mean,
I do need to go to church, but it's not for the reasons that were pointed out.
Mm-hmm.
It's for the spiritual fellowship.
Right.
I don't get that if I don't go to church.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's for the worship.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get that if I don't go to church.
Right.
I mean, I don't ride around listening to worship music and praising God in the car. I don't do it at work.
Yeah.
I do it at church.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The church it dwells within us.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It just so happens that they've got a building that a lot of us go to. You know what I'm saying? That it's I feel like it's a graduation of sorts of the fellowship of the program.
Yeah.
The upper echelon. You know what I mean? It's just a step up. Keeping in mind, when we talk about the fellowship in the rooms,
Mm-hmm.
we are sick people.
Yeah.
Some are sicker than most.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's just to say that we're not all cured in here. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
We're not all as they seem.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We don't all walk as we talk.
Yeah.
But it's the same in the church, bro. You know what I'm saying? But I just gotta keep in mind we're people.
Yeah.
We're just people. We're flawed people, and some of us are just spiritually sick, is what I'm gonna say. You know what I'm saying? But there again, like he's talking about the message and not the messenger. Regardless of how you walk or talk, it's not for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Love you, bro. Like old boy said, stay focused, keep it moving. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's it.
Right.
Because that stuff will drain my batteries.
Yeah. And it did. Ate my lunch for a minute.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I did too, though.
Yeah.
The same day. I know what you're talking about.
I know what you're talking about too. I
I
was
know what
in
you're talking
back.
about because I had a friend at the fellowship that was going through a similar thing at her church.
Yeah.
And she didn't want to go back.
Yeah.
And I was like, come on out to church, man. I said, ain't none of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I go to church and it was like, bow. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
is she here?
Yeah. Please don't be.
Don't do that. Like, what's the chances?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I let it eat my lunch. You already, like I said, we ate. But it
I think sometimes, though, okay, if I can interject,
yeah.
all right? So, there's the message, and then there's how it comes off is one thing, right? We are taught to love people, but we are still being taught what is written, right? So like we can't pick and choose, you know what I'm saying? But how you treat people and how you love on people is that's the difference. Like, what are we gonna do? We're not out to shun these people. That's not the way to roll. That's not what you're supposed to do. You're still supposed to love them. We're supposed to teach the message. You know, with my sister, we've got, you know what I mean? Like, we all grew up the same way. And that's where I was going to jump in, what I was going to say earlier before I left, but it was distracted. I needed to take care of some business so I can come back in here and focus. And, you know, growing up, I didn't, you know what I mean? My parents were married for 22 years before they got divorced, and that was after the boys' dad passed away. And I didn't grow up with, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I think my dad, they would drink sometimes, but nothing out of any. Rarely was there alcohol in the house if they drank. You know, my parents were deacons of a church. I grew up right next to the senior pastor, you know what I mean, who was my uncle. You know what I mean? My cousin was the youth group pastor. I grew up in the Easter play. You know what I mean? I didn't grow up seeing what I ended up living later. Which is what throws my family off. You know, I'm the only person really in my family that struggled with alcohol. And are you okay?
Don't do
Sorry,
it, dude. Don't do it, dude.
I just seen a message from my aunt. It's just kind of that draining conversation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we all
I just encountered that. That's unfortunate. You guys have to watch that firsthand. Continue.
That was
sorry.
immediate. No, you're good if you need a minute. Like,
it was just. It's about my mom. I just, you know.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Draining.
You know, when I realized it didn't matter if I grew up, you know, I always went for the friends. I moved schools every 2 years. I think I went to one school for 3 years, kindergarten through half of second grade, then we moved away. Then I was homeschooled for the rest of the year and half of the next year, so my mom put me in second grade again. So I graduated. I was like the oldest kid in my class. It was a month away from being 19, or a month and a half, or whatever, when I graduated high school. And so, you know, I didn't grow up seeing violence. You know, my parents were not like that. My dad was a giant, but he was a gentle giant.
Yeah.
And my mom, we grew up learning the right things. And then my mom had a miscarriage, things went down, and something broke at that point in time, right? And so, what? It's so funny.
He was.
Am I mumbling?
No,
Okay.
no, not at all.
I never
No.
know if it's, okay. No. Okay. Things kind of started to change, and that's kind of probably where that acceptance thing changed. Like, me and my mom were super close, and then just wasn't anymore. But I didn't want my kids, like when I look back now on what my kids have seen, what my kids have heard, the things that I have exposed, especially my oldest two. I really hope that they can see now, like who I am now and what is right, especially because we're with my grandparents, and I hope that they were there at the right times, because they saw a few fights, not very many. And I'm not trying to speak ill on anybody. Obviously, we don't stay with people if they're all bad. We're not going to stay in that situation. There's good that we see. Maybe. But for me, I'm not going to just... I saw all the good, right? So I was trying to coax it out. Like, if I put my 100% into every relationship, period. Unless there's absolutely no way to make this work, I will try every single avenue. Every single thing, because that's what you do. You're going to keep going, because I grew up knowing what unconditional love was, so that was where I was at. But I didn't know it's okay you don't have to do that right off the money, right? Because then pretty soon you let the wrong people in. And so I hope my boys and my girls, learn that what to tolerate, what not to tolerate. I really had to put myself in the position of like what you guys are saying. Like, you guys grew up and what you saw, and then you go back and you're going to school and you're taking it out on people. My version of how I fit in, I just would stand there and listen. If you chose to talk to me, I'm probably going to not even know what to say, because nobody talked to me. I had one friend in any school I went to, and then I moved away. And then I got to high school, and I was friends with all of, the rejects. They were my boys, little freshman boys that just kind of didn't have any friends. You know what I'm saying? Nobody talked to them. They were getting me to drop out. I was like the big sister friend. That's what I did. Yeah. And it was crazy, because I had one of the girls who was super. She was Miss Colorado, Junior Miss Colorado. She was very pretty, very popular. And she came up to me.
Miss Color Ado.
Came up to me and she's like, if you come to my house, I can make you popular. You're really pretty. I was like, no, I'm not doing that. I went out of my way from the whistle thing you're talking about, right? It came, and I don't know where it came from, except for when you said it, and then an old, distant memory, right? Yeah. When you turn and look because somebody's whistling, and you realize they weren't talking to you. So I started to ignore it, always. I never would turn. If somebody said something, I never thought it was me, because the one time I did, it was not for me. Right? So, screwed in my head. I never wanted to be thought of, I can't think that I am anything, because I know that I'm not. I had braces till I was 17 years old. 5 years! I had braces for 5 years, and I got, these are great, but, you know what I mean? I was not. My mom said, you should wear makeup. And I'm like, no, because I don't want people to like me. I hear what the boys say on the bus. Look at her without makeup on. She's not very pretty. So I was like, I won't wear makeup. If you want to be my friend, you can be my friend just the way that I is. Nerdy and kind of funny looking. You know what I mean? And then I moved. So it was all right. Because I didn't ever have to, hold up to that, or then I was homeschooled. And so it just grew up totally different. And then what I ended up in later on, that's why my mom's like, don't be friends with these kids. You're going to end up with the wrong friends. And later on, those 2 out of the 5 that I hung out with, in high school, after I went up to visit, right after I had my boys, and they're like, you know what I mean, the ones the day you talked to me, I was walking home, I had a letter in my hand from my mom, I was on my way home to go kill myself, and you saw me in the lockers and you came and talked to me. This was a year. This was not even 6 months after Gabe died. I was couldn't believe this kid told me that, because he didn't know yet while I was up there. He didn't know what had just happened. Mm-hmm. And And so it was like I can say, I was able to help people out, but the one person I couldn't, when that whole situation happened, you know what I mean? Like, what is the problem here, But I knew that there's still something, like I'm not going to give up what I do. I'm not going to give up being a kind person. I'm not going to think that nothing good's ever going to happen. I just was okay with my opinion wasn't that important. If other people were more upset about something, right down to the pizza situation. It's not intentional. I don't mean to it's just out of habit, right? Like, it's not that big of a deal. I've ate pepperoni pizza since, forever. Just not my favorite.
But that's an old habit
that I'm going to have.
tendency.
Yeah, so I caught that now.
You won't say that what you don't like. You just
endure it.
Suffer. Suffer through the pizza.
Those are like little things that I'm catching now.
Death by pepperoni.
Like, I like pepperonis by themselves, I just don't like them on pizza.
Yuck.
Yeah. So, not to. It's funny, man. Like, so I can look back, like, in my life, and I can see where God was, and I just couldn't see Him then. You know what I mean? So this just one instant that I'm about to tell you about. He was talking about, like, the man that tried to kill himself, or was going to, and, stopped him. So I've attempted suicide 2 other times, like, legitimately. You know what I mean? Besides using drugs. Besides that, okay? And the time I'm about to tell you about was the last time, okay? So, I was done, you know what I mean? Done. Like, I felt inadequate in every way, shape, or form. I didn't feel like I was, fit to be here, didn't want to be here, so ready to go. I had a 1911, okay? And it was brand new. I'm sitting outside. I was about to push my shit out. And I put it to my head and I pulled the trigger and it clicked. Mine just loaded. Okay? So it clicks. Alright, I pull the trigger again and it clicks. And I pull the trigger again and it clicks. Mind you, it's still loaded. So I pulled away from my head and I fired the trigger and it went off. Boom! So I put it to my head again and pulled the trigger and it clicks. Well, I ain't doing that no more. You know what I'm saying? I didn't look at it like that. I didn't look at it as, at that time, I said this was God. I just looked at it as like, I'm just not going to do that no more. You know what I mean? I'm going to try a different way. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to just dive deeper into the shit that I was doing to take me further away. But like, I see situations like that right there. Like, that right there couldn't be nothing else other than God right there. You know what I mean? Like, but you mean to tell me I pull everything away from my head and it fires? Like, come on, bro. Like, it's the type of shit you see in the movies. You know what I mean? But I say that to say, like, it took a minute for me to realize that too. Like, when one person dies, it's like another person is saved. Does that make sense? Like, I feel like, okay, in this situation where I was not taken, that someone else did go through that so that I could live. You know what I mean? I guess the main person that did go through that is, my higher power. He definitely went through that. And he's probably like trying to tell me something. I still, the message right there is still kind of blurred. You know what I mean? I'm still trying to figure out what it is that I'm supposed to learn from that situation. But I feel like the purpose that I have after that situation is to carry a message, whether it be this message or whether it be his message, just a message. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Don't make a permanent solution to a temporary feeling.
Facts.
Because it affects a lot more people than you even know. Right now, I had a conversation with my son yesterday. And it's just, I mean, he's almost 13 years old, so I'm sure he's going through, all the things. But, he's like, you're not coming back. You're still in Kentucky, you're not coming back. I don't want to go out there. I just want to play sports. I just want to stay here. I don't want to visit nobody. I don't want to see you. I don't want to see, he doesn't want to see my mom. He doesn't want to see it. He doesn't want to go see my dad. And they love going up to Montana to see my dad. So something's up. And it might just be that he just wants to be a kid for a little bit. He's like, everybody wants me to go see them or go see this person, to go, whatever. And nobody cares what I want to do. I'm starting to see, that not caring. They don't know. They don't know what happened to their dad yet. I haven't been able to have that conversation. Mostly because I didn't know how to have that conversation if I was failing, right? Because there's a whole lot to that story,
right.
In my opinion, it's still a big part of something that had to do with me. And I had to get out of the addiction to be able to tell this story, or I was going to write it to the boys, because nobody's going to explain what happened. Nobody's going to tell them about their dad. He was a good dude. He just was in a bad spot in his head. No drugs. No, decent guy. Just had some issues. A lot of them were family, mom issues. Also acceptance. Also, I thought the guy was pretty happy with himself, but usually the ones that hide it in jokes and in, you think that they got it all together, you don't realize how deep the pain goes, and a mother's love is humongous. And I don't want my boys to ever think that, because I know how detrimental that was for their dad to feel like he wasn't enough for his mom. And my boys, I don't want them to feel like they're not enough. And so, I'm hoping I'm making all the right decisions. I can only do what I can do today. And I hope, they get in their little fights, but nothing like y'all are describing. I can't imagine my guys coming home all messed up from school fights, and there ain't no way.
Or messing somebody up.
Yeah.
Well, they did that.
Okay.
My mama, let me tell you what my mama told me. My mama told me, she said, if you get into a fight at school, you better not lose. That's what I was told. But even if I did,
a fight. For me, we had all girls, so girls don't fight. And then my sister got in a fight when we were in cheer practice, and I was in trouble because it was my friend. And I was like, yeah, but she's the one running her mouth, calling people names and making fun of them, and what she think was going to happen. She might be able to talk to us any way she wants to, but the rest of the world's not going to tolerate it. Yeah. I was smoking a cigarette at the pavilion because I could, because I was 18. Ditching cheer practice. I'm gonna go smoke a cigarette.
Back when the smoking age was 18.
Huh?
Back when the smoking age was 18.
Oh yeah, it's not anymore, huh?
No. The good old days, you know what I'm saying?
The good old days. Yeah. So it's. I know. I just want to be a lead by example, because regardless, and I don't want to talk bad about, there's been a lot of bad that's happened, but there's good in everybody. It's just I'm learning now from the mistakes, and I see a lot of the signs that I would ignore, and I know now why, because I knew I really want to stay in this, but I really didn't. I don't want to start over again. I don't want to put my all into something that's, if I just keep putting, eventually it's going to have to work, right? But it doesn't. That's not how that works. And what you tolerate, eventually your kids will tolerate. And I will not. I hope I've cut that before it started, because generational curses are a real thing, and I started my whole own for my kids, and I hope I cut it off before it got too bad, because there's just a lot, and And sometimes I wonder, if nothing I can do, I can just live today. And with that, my train of thought is leaving the station. Somebody else talking.
So what you was just that's funny. What you was just saying, like you wanted to, be the example. Like what popped in my head was be the change you want to see, right? Like I want to impact people on a greater scale. So be first, like, and I said this. I've actually been saying it for real. I don't say it every day or nothing like that, but like. What I utter with my mouth, my actions must prove. Like we was talking about earlier, when you apologize or like I'm the constant, like I'm sorry. I'm not gonna tell you like I'm sorry or like you know what I mean. Like if I do something and I'm like, what can I do to fix it? You know what I mean? I'm just gonna show you. I spent my whole life like with my grandparents. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna do it again. Turn around and do it again. You know what I mean? Over and over.
Okay, but with that,
And over.
when you don't ever say sorry, nobody knows that you're trying to show that you're sorry because you never acknowledge that you did anything wrong in the first place.
That's why we apologize. And make amends.
Amends. That's where what can I do to fix?
We're not sorry people.
Right.
No, I know that.
Sorry falls on deaf ears.
That's where what can I do to
Because
fix what I did? You know
I
what I
only
mean?
said sorry
To appease. Yep.
just to. I didn't mean that shit. Just shut up.
Yeah.
That's all I'm trying to say. I'm sorry. Shut up.
Yeah.
Get off of it.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to. Won't do it again. Sorry. Look the other way. I'm doing it again. That's what sorry means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like when you say
I
but
apologize. Is there anything I can do
to fix what I
to
did?
fix this?
That's it.
That's what sorry is supposed to mean, but yes, I
Yes,
get you.
no, but there's
But see, that's the thing. Like
generational.
It's the watered down. Like when you talking about the I
been
love
going
you
on
thing.
for a century.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I spent my whole life. So just to give you a little bit of a
Passport station certificate.
yeah. So I stole quite a large amount of money from my grandparents when I was younger. You know what I mean? I apologize. You know what I mean? I'm gonna do that. But instead of stealing from them, I just did other things that were equivalent to that right there. Like instead of them, I'm just gonna steal from someone else. You know what I mean? And I get caught, and then it was, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna do it again. And then I did it again. You know what I mean? I remember the first time I got arrested for possession. I'm like, oh no, I'm not gonna do it again. No, I'm not gonna do it. I get out and got arrested that same night again for the same thing. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And like so, I spent all this time apologizing to people, and that's why like my grandma, like when I got into the recovery this time right here, like it was a blessing for her to actually see that I actually meant what I was telling her, because like I told her, I was like, listen, I'm not going to keep apologizing to you. I'm just going to show you. You know what I mean? Whether or not you believe me at this point is entirely up to you, but I'm no longer going to waste my breath and your time just telling you I'm sorry. I now have to put action behind me apologizing to you. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that was one of the things that I'm most grateful for, that before she died, she got to see me changed and not living the same way I was. You know what I mean? But what I utter with my mouth, my actions must prove. You know what I mean? And I try to live by that to the best of my ability, because it's just, you gotta, for me personally, I got tired of saying things like that. Like, I got tired of apologizing. I got tired of being a sorry person. You know what I mean? Not saying that I don't do things wrong. That's not what I'm saying. But like, when you're constantly, I can only imagine how like my grandparents felt. Me constantly getting locked up, constantly apologizing to them, constantly going back to do the same shit, constantly being told, I'm telling them, like, manipulating them, really, like, I'm going to do this different, I'm going to do this different. I got arrested one time and spent a year in jail county time. And at this time, county time is day for day. So I did 365. My grandma put $200 on my books every week. Every week. Faithfully. You know what I mean? Like, I could call her and be like, hey, I know you just put $200 in there, but will you put another $100? And she'd do it for a year. You do $200 a week times, you know what I mean? It's not cheap.
No.
That's not cheap. To the point where after I got out, my grandma told me, she said, man, you get locked up again, I can't do that. I can't help you. I can't help you. So I get out, I'm like, oh, it's going to be different. It's going to be different. I turn around and get locked up again for another year, 6 months later. And I'm like, hey, will you put $200 on my books again? You did it for me the last time. Can you do it for me again?
And she said, nope.
No, she did. She did it. She did it again. Because I told her, hey, when I get out this time, it's not going to be the same. It's the same thing I just got done telling her just
So
a
when
year
you
and a half
did
ago.
that, here's my question. I'm not putting the microphone down. Did you? Yeah, I'm just not even with you right now. Wow.
Oh.
Yeah. Did you know that you were just saying sorry to manipulate? Cause
Yeah.
well, there's a difference.
No.
I mean, there's some of us who say sorry. We really don't want to piss you off again. You know what I'm saying? We really are trying to not be that person.
That's the thing.
Or like, I really intended to not do it again.
You also.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
I was like, I'm totally done. Like, I am sorry.
Yes.
I don't want to do this.
Yes.
I really meant it with my whole
So-
heart. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't.
There was like this is the situation. Like, okay, so I get it from my mom for real. I can be extremely manipulative, and I'm just gonna put that to the side for just a second. My grandmother, okay, I was her baby. Right before she passed away, I could call her and be like, hey, I need, whatever, such and such. It didn't matter the amount of money that it was. It didn't matter if it was the last dollar she had on her pocket. She was going to give it to me. My grandmother loved me unconditionally, no matter what I did. It did not matter. It didn't matter. I could kill someone and my grandma was going to help me bury the body. That's how my grandma, I'm serious, that's how my grandma loved me. To a fault.
Right.
You know what I mean? And yes, I did absolutely mean when I would apologize. I didn't want to keep doing that. I didn't want to keep being that person. I don't like being that person. I don't like doing the same stupid shit to get me locked up. I didn't like being that same person that stole, almost $80,000 from these people that raised me, the ones that love me unconditionally.
You keep doing it.
Yes. And yes, I did mean these things. But I also knew that in the situation that I was in, being locked up, that if I just bat my eyes a little bit, Grams, I'm sorry, I love you, please, can you help me?
Yeah.
She's going to do it. After this time, though, I get out. I don't even think it was 6 months, probably 3 months. I get locked back up. I do another year, okay? Now I can't even get her to answer the phone. Not only is she not answering the phone, but now she's not coming up here to see me. Now she's not writing me a letter no more. My grandma wrote me at least once a week. Both 2 other times for a whole year straight. Now she's not answering the phone. Now she's not sending me letters to see how I'm doing, to check on me. Now she's not financially helping me. Because I done start to burn that bridge, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's getting tired of hearing that, like, I'm sorry, what can I, and I just got tired of being that person for real, you know what I mean? It's crazy, like, I got locked up right before I took drug court this time, and my grandma was putting money on she was doing the same thing she was doing any other time, you know what I'm saying, where she was
Sorry.
No, you're good. My grandma was putting money on my books the way she was.
Also known as snapbacks.
Yeah. The way she was.
Get it.
The way she was before, but I didn't have to call my grandma to do it. My mom, I would call my mom like, "Hey, mom, I need you to order these baskets for me real quick because I don't have no commissary. I got to get hygiene, blah, 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 blah." And my mom would order anywhere from $200 to $400 a week from my grandma for me to have stuff.
See, you got that avenue that you took, okay?
Ruined it.
Sorry, I mean, anything, blah, blah, we know back to outlet, whatever.
Yeah.
Mine was a little bit different. It was, I'm sorry, but get me the fuck out of here.
That too. Oh yeah, that was that too.
You know what's gonna be like? The longer you take to get me out of here,
The worst is gonna be on
the worse
you.
it's gonna be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna get completely and utterly just abusive with the shit come out my mouth.
Uh-huh.
Now, you don't want to hear no more of it.
Mm-mm.
I know you don't. You know what I mean? Like, I can make you feel so bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
just, man, some of the stuff I would say and the ways I would be, man, like it all comes back when I start talking on it, bro.
Yeah.
First time I got locked up as an adult in Alabama, like 10 felonies, 5 misdemeanors. It took me 2 weeks, bro. I had done ate so many Klonopins. It took me 2 weeks of waking up over and over in the holding cell. I stayed up front in the holding cell for over 2 weeks. I tried to fight the whole jail, the cops, everything. Then I was like I was 18. It took 10 or 12 of them to hold me down, my skinny ass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I was completely out of my mind. They put me in an attitude chair with a spit thing on my head, and he put me in a chair and kicked this little lever. It popped me up on wheels, and he just kicked me in the boom and slammed the damn door, bro. You know what I mean? Like,
What?
Hell yeah.
you ain't never been in an attitude chair?
You don't want to be. I promise you that.
No.
That thing got
I've
so
been
many-
tied onto
that
a
thing got
chair
so many-
once.
It got so many seat belts, handcuffs, shackles, straps.
Yeah.
No.
Like,
was
it's
just
like a
strapped in a
30-point
chair.
seat belt.
Yeah, no. No. But does it seem like I would need somebody that needs to be put in an attitude
Do
chair?
I? What is that?
It sounds like
But look, dude, it took me 2 weeks of being in the holding cell to realize the gravity of my situation and where I was not going anytime soon, and that was outside.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't going to see the sky for a long time. You know what I mean? I was still pretty nasty. Everybody got in touch with, you know what I mean? Took about 6 months before I wasn't so nasty with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Mama couldn't help me. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because I was just so young and dumb to life. All I thought about the whole time I was in there was getting out.
Yeah.
Couldn't wait.
Yeah.
All right, ready to go get high.
Ready-
You know,
shit,
take
first
that
thing,
shit.
as soon as I get in the car.
First day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I can remember I got out and with my little brother. He got some dudes he run around with, you know, and they all had some smoke. And we pull up to the gas station. Little buddy gets out the driver's seat. He starts hollering at this other dude. You know what I mean? Like, and they sound like serious. You know, and I'm like, that was the first sense of paranoia I ever remember feeling. Like, I'm about to go back to jail.
Yeah.
They was playing. They was just playing with each other.
Yeah.
I'm like, y'all do that. No, y'all do that. You gonna send me back to jail, dude.
Yeah.
Paranoid, bro.
Yeah. You was talking about like the manipulation, like how you would talk to him. Like, I remember 2017, the middle towards the end of 2017, I caught a possession charge. It's a felony charge, right? So I'm in the jail, I'm in the cell, and one of my partners is in there too. So, you know, dude's like the only person I really talked to. So he knew like I was on the phone with my grandmother, You know what I mean? So I'm talking so bad to my grandma, like, bro, just get me the fuck up out of here. You know what I mean? But it's like it's a lot more colorful, and dudes like, you know what I mean? Who's he talking to? Apparently, bro told one of the guys that was trying to figure out who I'm talking to on the phone, you know what I'm saying, so aggressively that it was my grandmother.
Uh-oh.
And yeah. Uh-oh. You know what I mean? Like, I've been in fights before, you know what I mean? When you get into a jail fight, it's different. You know what I mean? It ain't like a motherfucker gonna come and save you. You know what I mean? Not that I need saving, but still, like, it's a different environment. You know what I mean? And I remember the first time I literally almost got into a fight because of the way I was talking to my grandmother. And it, like, even after then, like, I would still find ways to make you feel this big about my actions. Not about anything you did, but about my actions. Bro, if you don't get me up out of here, this is like, I really, like, told her this several times. You know what I mean? And if you don't get me up out of here, can you imagine what's gonna cost you in the end? What? What you mean what's gonna cost me? You know what I mean? All the money that you're gonna be spending answering this phone call whenever I call, all the money you're gonna be putting on my books over the next however long it's gonna take for me to get out of here. You know what I mean? That's what I told her. I told her this. You know what I mean? And her being my grandmother and loving me the way she did unconditionally, she gonna pay the $1,500 to get me bonded out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And what I do after I get bonded out? Thank you, I appreciate you. I might stay clean, might stay sober, might do the right thing for the next 6 hours. As soon as I get back to the crib, hey bro, you gonna come and get me? Yeah, I'm on the way. Alright, bet.
Yeah.
Then I'm gone for a week. The next thing you know, she get a phone call from jail like, I need you to bond me out again.
Yeah.
Well, the last time I went to jail, she said, son, I'm not bonding you out. I don't have it to bond you out. I don't have it to put money on your shit. You gotta figure it out. And shit, you right. So I sat for 2 weeks. I didn't even try to call her after that. She done told me she can't help me. You know what I mean? Now I'm trying to figure out who I can call. So I sat there for 2 weeks and didn't call anybody. You know what I mean? They let me out. And then I went on the run for 12 months. Then went right back.
So I think the one of the reasons maybe we just do what we always been doing instead of living up to our apology, you know what I'm saying, and not doing that shit. It's the gravity of the work that must be done begins to set in. It's a lot easier just not to put the work in and just continue as we was.
Right.
So me and the ex was running back and forth from Michigan for over a year, and we get pulled over in Ohio after a half-assed job of trying to elude. It was a real half-assed job, you know. So they pull us over. We got like 5 pounds of pot. We got over 300 carts. Got all kinds of bags of gummies. You know what I'm saying? Just all kinds of other miscellaneous stuff, you know. I had a gun in the car. They take us to jail. And the whole time I'm in there, you know, I get just a couple minutes out, really. And the whole time I'm out, I'm consumed on the phone, trying to make phone calls. I'm so consumed on the phone, trying to make phone calls, because it's like an iPad kiosk-like deal, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm so hyper-focused on trying to make a phone call and get out. It took me 3 days to realize I could order food off of the menu. Like I can order food, like good food.
Right.
I kept wondering why everybody's getting white to-go, styrofoam to-go boxes. I'm like, what the fuck y'all getting at? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, what y'all buying? What you got in your pocket, you know what I'm saying? The last day right before I got out, I noticed that there's like ham, cheeseburgers and fries and all kinds of shit on there, and I'm like,
yeah.
You got to be kidding me. I didn't eat one thing, dude, the whole time I was in there.
Yeah.
I will literally die of starvation.
Yeah.
Because I just cannot bring myself to eat the food.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
they charge us with trafficking, bro. Mama put up the house. Giving her out. Also paid another $3,000 for the bail bondman. Nobody would do a property bond. Nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody. The property was in Kentucky. The charges were in Ohio.
Yeah.
Nobody would do. It was one bondsman they found that would do it. All right. He had to have $3,000 also cash. So get him the money. Then we had to get an attorney. We had to stay overnight, show up at court the next day, get an attorney. It was like another $5,000.
Yeah.
So we get, and at this point, when they released us out of jail, we're right outside the front doors. And I was like, give me a cigarette. She reached in her purse, give me a cigarette. I was like, really? I said, let me get that cart. They don't have carts in the purse, bro. Like, I'm smoking the cart in the parking lot, getting in the Jeep on the way,
Yeah.
So we get back, and at this point, we had done decided that we're just going to get jobs. You know what I'm saying? It ain't worth it, this, that, and the other. Try to call somebody get back pot. It's like a lot more than I would charge, and it's not even good. I was like, we look at each other like we're going back to Michigan. 2 weeks later,
Yeah.
we're back in Michigan.
Yeah.
We got 2023. This is God.
Yeah.
2023 Malibu. All right, it's at 19,000 miles on it. And I'm driving like a madman, of course, all the way up. We ain't got nothing. So on the way back, the car acted funny. You know what I mean? Like, it was just acting real funny. Now we're coming back. This is right north of the river, right outside Cincinnati. And the car trying to break down, full of pot, in the same county I just bailed out of 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Sean's will come into effect.
Yeah. I'm not trying to do that. Yeah.
The car did not break down in that county.
Yeah.
I made it to Kentucky side,
Yeah.
and then the car broke down,
Yeah.
full of pot. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had to call. I ain't even gonna say that because anyway, we had to call somebody.
Yeah.
And they came and helped us swap the shit. You know what I'm saying? In the car, whatever. But just the fact that car was gonna break down in the same county, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to be doing that, bro.
Yeah.
And like,
Get up out of here.
and we
So
just
with-
kept going and kept going and kept going.
Yeah.
Kept going. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? We leave with pending court cases.
Yeah.
Like,
Facts. Yes.
and then went to the attorney's office and told him, he's like,
Yeah.
don't
tell me
that.
Yeah. I don't need to hear none of
Don't
that.
tell me that.
Yeah.
If you're going to, though, he said, just go 4 miles an hour over the limit, no more.
Yeah.
Right? That's terrible.
Right.
Yeah.
So I've had my God said right there, don't do it. Don't do it. In 2023, okay, the girls were here visiting for 2 weeks for 4th of July. It wasn't even 2 weeks. I think he had them for 10 days. I'll let Dustin bring them up
222.
here. And is it your numbers things?
222.
Yeah.
It's 222. Sorry, I don't mean to keep saying it, but it is 222.
It's 222.
Yeah.
22.
Yeah, as you were.
Yeah,
Alright,
sorry.
So, the girls are up here for 4th of July. The boys they were going out to Minnesota with my grandparents to go visit my uncle. And Phoenix did not want to go. They had just closed because they had opened the case hadn't opened a case yet. This is right before they're opening a case. I thought they had closed it, you know what I mean? We never really had a case. They came, they said, you're good, you know what I mean? I got clean, I ain't gonna mess with this. And we had 2 weeks of time to just, no kids, you know what I mean? Like, just get the house unpacked, just relax, just look for a job, whatever it was, right? And I knew, I was like, no, we're not getting high. We're not going to get high. We're not doing it. And Phoenix is like, I don't want to go. She's like, Mom, I don't want to go again, Papa. I want to stay with you. I was like, kid, you ain't going to come with me. And I thought maybe we could get, you know what I mean, if we did, we'll just do it, you know, for this couple days, and we're not going to. But I knew that there was this very short amount of time. Got to agree? Okay. And he was crazy. He's like, I don't want to go. I was like, it'll be fine, baby. It'll be fine. They go. We took the truck. So we were going to go to Nebraska. We got this craving, right? Gotta get it. The one person, I made sure I only know one person that's ever got it, and they don't got it, I don't get it, you know? Like, I had tried to make sure that I wasn't, every time was always the last time. Every time was always the last time, because the more people I know, then I'm going to keep getting high. So, we took the truck. We were going to Nebraska to go see somebody that we knew from Colorado that moved to Nebraska that was going to give us some drugs, right? Mm-hmm. We're like, perfect. It's a 4-hour drive. Let's go. Get in the truck. And 2 hours out, and we're just brand new to Kansas. I mean, he had just come out there not too far before. And it was one of those in that moment, and I was like, we better just not do it. We better not do it. We're going to do it, though. We better do it now. You know? Like, eventually, it was there, and like, fuck it, let's go. 2 hours in the middle of nowhere, the truck makes this god-awful racket mid-highway. It's a manual Dodge, like a 2006, something like that. Anyway, something goes out. We pull up, and the throw-up bearing on the truck just went out. We don't know what the hell we're gonna do. One, we don't even have any drugs. We're in the middle of nowhere. We sat on the side of the road for 4 hours debating like if we were going to drive the truck any further to go get this or see if our friend would meet us because we're halfway there. By the end, we ended up with no drugs. And that truck to this day is parked. Never got a new transmission. You know what I mean? Never fixed it. But God said right there, don't do it. If you go, everything's screwed up. So we waited a day or two. I was like, better not. And I looked right at him. I was like, God said, no. If we know, something's going to happen. Something's going to happen. Just give it up. Just not going to do it. Not going to do it. 3 days before the girls get back, we get high. Actually, no. We got high the day the girls got back because I wasn't going to, Dustin would know. You know what I mean? Like, their daddy's going to know because we all got, you know what I mean? Like, we know when we're not doing great. So he brought the girls back. And got high. There's a letter in the mail the next day. We have court. This was on a Monday. Court was Wednesday. Court was to decide if they were going to take my girls or take the kids if they were going to open a case. You can't keep, or I think, I got it Friday. So I had the whole weekend. I was like, no more. But it couldn't, all the things were happening. Mm-hmm. That was not an option. And for me, the best way to deal with all that was to keep getting high. Because if I'm sober and this is happening, I'm going to walk out and leave. I'm going to leave you. I'm going to leave everything. Like, I'm not going to do it. If I get high, then I'll tolerate it. So, keep getting high. The boys are in Minnesota. We go to court. They invite me. They took the girls out of my arms in court that day and opened the case. And I knew right then and there, I had my fork in the road, and God said, if you do it, this one last time is going to take it all the way. And I know that there's a lot of, I made the decision ultimately, you know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of resentment that sits there, because that was before, that was trying this again. The goal is to stay clean, but we had to do that one more time. They broke the truck. He broke your truck. God's like, don't go. Yet we did it anyway. You know what I mean? And so I know when God tells me no. I know a very clear no. But that was in 2023, July of 2023. That everything, they opened the case, but when I had to call my grandparents, I'm looking at my oldest son on the phone, bawling in the pillow because he knew he wasn't coming back home. That's why I didn't want to leave. He was 10 years old at the time. 10-year-old son should not have to be worried about leaving his mom because he's afraid that he'll never get to come home again.
Right.
I think that's part of why he doesn't think he's coming home now.
Right.
Because when we get too excited that something might actually happen, one, we either self-sabotage or we stop believing, so then we're not hurt when it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
That's something I have a problem with that I'm noticing, so I have to
Yeah.
think that way.
Right.
Anyway, that was my little spiel story.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Right on.
So, what was all that about?
Yeah, what was all your...
Weather.
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 Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
Road.
So, gratefuls then?
Absolutely.
All right. Go ahead.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Well, this is a first. Wow. I mean, I'm grateful for a lot. I'm grateful for bondsmen, bail bonds. You know what I'm saying?
I don't understand why Kentucky doesn't have them, but yeah.
I'm grateful for. I'm grateful that although I no longer partake, that states are going medicinal, states are going recreational. Because to each their own.
Yeah.
I was given the medical card and given the ability to go acquire my meds, if you will. And even with all that, I came to the conclusion.
Yeah.
I've shared it before. I believe God talked to me right then.
Mm-hmm.
Those times have come and gone.
Yeah.
Young man.
Yeah. Like a phase.
What are you surrendering? Are you ready to give it up for a way better life? You know what I mean? And I'm grateful for that experience. I'm really grateful for that experience. It took a further experimentation, as a friend in the room says. To have, I'm not going to say full knowledge of my condition because I'm just not going to say that. But I am grateful that I have furthered the knowledge of my condition.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Well, thank you, sir. How about you?
Well, grateful for a lot, but I am grateful to be able to recognize, more and more about seeing patterns, being able to learn from past mistakes instead of repeating the same ones. I'm grateful to be part of my kids' life the way that I am today. And I'm grateful that I can stop and listen and hear when God's like, just trust me. Like, you don't need to be afraid. You are okay. Just, leave it alone. Just let it be. And,
You have real faith.
Seeing where life's going today. And always keeping in the forefront just one time away, one mistake away, one
Bad decision.
One bad decision away from, I can't ever let that. Yeah, throwing everything away. And I'm not willing to do that today.
Not willing to pay that price.
But I do know that if something ever were, God forbid, ever were to happen, I know where to go, because I better not stay in it. No matter how much I'm ashamed, no matter how much I'm mad at myself or don't want to throw away whatever time that I have, I know if I don't come back in here that it will be, I refuse to be that person ever again. So if I do make a mistake, I'm coming back and owning it immediately, because I won't. I can't live like that, because I know what happens when I do.
Mic drop.
Dear diary, we don't have to live like that anymore. I got a couple more gratefuls though. I am grateful for a live studio audience.
Yes, we're very grateful for you.
And go.
Well, all right then. I'm grateful for my higher power. I'm grateful for this podcast, sitting down with y'all. Definitely family. You know what I mean?
La familia.
Yes.
It's a disgrace to the family.
Yeah. But the relationship that I have with you all has definitely grown. You know what I mean? And I'm grateful to be a part of it. You know what I mean? I'm grateful for a spiritual awakening, but I'm going to further that and to say I'm grateful for a continuous spiritual transformation, because it's like I'm always growing spiritually. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for the relationship that I have with my higher power. Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm just grateful that I'm in a position to be able to help someone, even if I don't know if it helps them or not. I haven't had any complaints. I haven't heard anyone say I'm harming them. So I got to be doing something right, And
right.
As long as I just stay in His will and not my own, it'll be all right. Right. I'm grateful for that, though.
I'm grateful for one more thing.
Go ahead.
Were you done?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Sorry,
No,
I'm not
you're
trying
good.
to cut you off.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
I'm really grateful. Today is the day before Easter. So I would like to put a grateful out to my higher power for the sacrifice He made so I can have the life that I have today. In remembrance of, we think we sacrifice a lot. Nothing in comparison. And I'm so happy that I choose to live out the best I can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amen to that.
Amen.
All right. So.
Version.
All right.
Moment of silence for all the sick and suffering. All those that have not made it back into this room, and those who will not make it back into this room. And
the babies
caught in the crossfire.
Born to this disease.
Born into this disease at no fault of their own.
Yeah.
Prayer.
God grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference just for today.
Keep coming back, yeah.
Amen.